Guys, what if this is what we've been praying for? I'm serious. All you revivalists, all you Jesus lovers, everybody in this manifesto fam. Guys, I'm someone that's been praying for revival for like 12 years. Ever since I came to the Lord, revival has, in different seasons, been the burden of my heart. In some seasons more than others. But in this time more than ever, currently, I am aware, there's just this awareness that what if this is what we've been praying for? What if everything that the nations are going through currently with the coronavirus, with the stock market, with all these collaborations, like what if the time has come and our prayers are now going to be tested to what has the prayers we've been praying made us ready for what God is wanting to do? Because we always see, even in history, God does things just a little different than how we may expect, and how we want revival to take place won't look like a happy, giddy party every time. It's in the midst of turmoil and distress that God reveals himself in his glory. And so all the things that have been going on has made me wonder and think and ponder, all right, Lord, like what is going on? So I'm not here to like tell you what's gonna happen. I'm telling you what could happen. And I want to encourage you as a family, as a body, as a YouTube channel, together in this. We are Jesus people, and we have to know times and seasons. And in the sense of this season and time, that we as a worldwide body, like we're a global body, like this is the advantage that we have in our day and age, that we are actually connected through this media right here, right? And as a global body, we have to know what God's plan is in this time. And there's a few things that I sense, but primarily what the Lord has been speaking is Isaiah 60, which is, "Arise and shine, for your light has come." It says that, "Behold, darkness shall cover the earth, a deep darkness the people, but the Lord will arise over you, and his glory shall be seen upon you." The glory of the Lord, revival, everything that we want to see in our day and age, the outpouring of the Spirit, like all these things God has made available to those that are willing to go through the deep darkness. And now as we see the nations being shaken with Corona, as we see things being shut down, what is up ahead I believe the church will be remembered in this season by what either we did or what we didn't do. And I pray to God we recognize the time and season of what God's wisdom is for us. And with things shutting down, with businesses and schools and all governments being closed down, what is our response? We should respond with joyous apprehension of this time and season, not a fearful fleeing from what is being announced in the news. One thing I've always been aware of is that there is a day coming. There is a day coming, and we live for a certain day that happens in our day and generation that we must be ready for. It's what I would call the day of the Lord. And there's different, scripture talks about different days of the Lord, but Joel talks about specifically the great and terrible day of the Lord. And it's this dual dynamic where it's great and glorious, and it's terrible, it's doomful. And it's both. The day of the Lord is both of those things. And so for us not to be offended in the day of the Lord's appearing, because many will get offended, and many do get offended and even blame God for the things that are occurring. But those that know the Lord will understand the day of the Lord and his appearing and his desire to appear through a people. Because God is not just he's ultimately gonna appear himself. Yes, this is the day of the Lord. This is when he returns, when he splits the sky and comes back. But just as in the days of Noah, right? So it will be in the coming of the Son of Man. Noah knew the times and the seasons, and he prepared a boat ready for him and his household. That was the way for Noah to get ready for the day of the Lord, the judgment of the Lord that was going to be released in his day. Likewise, Moses, we see there was a day of the Lord. The day of the Lord was when God took them out of Egypt, and judgment came on Egypt and the house of Pharaoh, right? So this is the day of the Lord. There's judgment, right? Judgments were released. God protected Israel in the midst of it. And in that same way, the same way God released judgment over the house of Egypt, so is God still releasing judgment for righteousness' sake over the earth. And that may be an arguable point here, but the point is this: there is a day of the Lord, and he's coming, and our response is crucial. And Moses' response was judgment on the house of the wicked, that the righteous may stand and shine in brilliance, and that people would come in to see the glory of the Lord. This is what Isaiah 60 is talking about. Arise and shine, your light has come, the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. Darkness over the earth, deep darkness the people. So the earth is coming into darkness, but the people of the Lord will shine in brilliance and release the glory of God for the nations to come in. After that, we see the inheritance. It says, your sons will come from afar, daughters will be nursed at your side. Then you shall see and become radiant, and your heart shall swell with joy. The promises of God will be fulfilled. So we see God's wisdom in the day of the Lord, that he wants to manifest his glory in a people that will then shine in such a way that it will draw in many others. And so I want to encourage you in this time and season, in this day of the Lord. This is a special moment, guys. This is a special moment in history for us to take a hold of and believe God for the miraculous, to believe God in the power that breaks chains, to believe God in the power of the gospel and the hope that we can give this generation. So wherever you're located, believe the Lord for your city, for your country, for your neighborhood, that it is a strategic location. We are connected worldwide as a body in the midst of this crisis, in the midst of this hour. But for us to take heart, to take hope, and to be a light to our local region. You are in a strategic location, and God's placed you there for your community. So be a light. Shine with brilliance. The glory of the Lord is waiting to be released as you go and activate, as you go and love the lost, as you bring in those that are hurting and fearful, and bring the light of Jesus, the hope of the gospel, into their hearts and lives. Revival ultimately looks like us obeying the Lord. But in special moments in history, when we obey God, this is when outpourings and breakouts that have significant implications happen. This is what Jonah did. Jonah, obviously, he fled from the Lord, but then when he obeyed the Lord, revival was poured out. It was the day of the Lord. He proclaimed judgment over Nineveh, and then God had mercy and repentance. I believe there was 70,000 that came to the Lord because Jonah obeyed the Lord. So there are significant moments where when we partner with heaven in times, God has mercy and pours out his spirit. And so I believe we see all throughout history, these moments are available. I believe we're in such a moment. Let's take advantage of it. Let's take ground. Let's be bold. Let's be brave. Let's not dwell in fear. I don't know whether it's going to get greater or worse, better or worse. Either way, revival is God's promise in deep darkness. So you guys be encouraged at this time that God's made available. See this as a gift and an opportunity. And I know many of you have, but once again, I want to reaffirm what I believe the Lord is wanting to do. awaken the body, awaken the bride, take its place, and say yes to Jesus and following him radically and making him known. So bless you guys. Isaiah 60, arise and shine, for the glory of the Lord is risen upon you. May it rise today and in this season over you and over everyone you touch. Bless you guys. Thanks for watching. Comment down below if you have any thoughts on this. And we will see revival in our day and age, in our generation. I believe it. Awesome. God bless you. In the midst of everything, my friends come in. Hey guys, welcome home.
Thanks. Sorry.
What's up?
It's all good. You guys need help?
No, I think we're good. Thank you.
How you doing, brother?
But for real. But maybe this is it. Maybe. Just maybe. But for real.